Before we start, I just wanted to say we're going to be coloring this image today, this pretty pansy, which started from a mistake. Hi, it's Dia. Today's video is going to be from a picture from Coloring Dreams, and I'm going to be using Faber-Castell Polychromos oil-based colored pencils. This video is a mistake video. That's just the Polychromos white. I was going to show a technique, kind of a cool tip, and I really did not like the way it was coming out. So the first thing that I was doing for the tip was to put white over most of the area on the top two petals and in like a crescent moon area on both of the bottom petals, because I had a really cool idea of what I wanted this to look like. But as with many things in life, this did not come out like I expected. So first I used Delft blue, and I'm leaving this rather fast because it's basic coloring and you can kind of get the idea what I'm doing even though this is speeded up. So I colored in almost the whole top area, and I was going to leave the white areas on the perimeter. And by the center, I made these little up and down jaggedy marks so it would remain white in the center. Okay, so far so good. Oh, and before I forget, hit subscribe below because I'm doing a giveaway, and this way you'll be notified. The giveaway is actually hero pencils and a coloring book and several coloring pages, so hit that button. Then I changed my mind and I decided to use crimson, which I've told you before. To me, looks more like fuchsia, but that's okay, around the edges that I was gonna leave white. And then I used light cadmium yellow and spring green, light green in the center. Then I took that same crimson and I kind of did that jaggedy look around the yellow. And I'm going over where I put the white previously. Now, right about here, I was not liking what I was seeing. I didn't like the two Delft blue purpley areas up on top. To me, they looked like Mickey Mouse ears. So I was trying to balance it out, and I put some Delft blue over the crimson. And then it started to look cartoonish to me. So I doubted that this would ever see the light of day. But that being said, I almost never give up on something because I always feel like there's something I can do. So I went in again, or still, with the Delft blue, and I put some on the bottom area here, kind of to balance things out. And I noticed that the bottom petals started to look a little bit like butterfly wings, which might not be realistic, but I thought was kind of awesome. So now I had new inspiration to finish this. So I decided to go back up on top with the crimson and see what I could do. Now, since I had already put the white as a base underneath that Delft blue on top, I knew there was potential for erasing or scratching some of that color off. So I had my fingers crossed. You've heard me say before that if you don't like the way your coloring picture is coming out, you're probably just not done. and you'll probably hear me say it again, and I can say this for myself here too. So I took my Mono Zero eraser and I started to make little lines. I can't really say they're highlights because in my head they were white flashes of, I can't say color, but lack of color in that sort of blah area of purple. Now, it looks kind of messy now, but I wasn't really worried about it because I knew that I was going to go in and form different, not quite shapes around them, but I was going to define them a little bit more and make them look more like petals rather than Mickey Mouse ears. I'm using the crimson again. And I used some of the crimson around that light green around the center to add a depth effect, meaning to make it look like it's deeper in the center. Now right about here, I started to like the way it was looking again. I grabbed deep red and put it around the yellow areas in the center, and I also added it around the perimeter crimson areas also. Then I went back to the crimson and added a little bit more of that to blend it in. I'm lightly going over the Delft blue on the bottom of the petals with the crimson, and now I'm going over the whole thing with white to blend it. I always feel like that white is almost a magical step, like that blending part. It all starts to come together. Now the petals were starting to take on a more, I can't even say quite it's realistic, but it looked more like what I had in mind from the beginning. Now I'm using light green. And I'm adding a little bit to the white areas just to make it a little more dimensional, blending a little bit more with the white. And at this point, I was actually very happy with the way things were coming out. Now that's the Polychromos black. And I had to use a relatively dark, well, not black is as dark as it's going to get. I had to use a dark pencil to separate the leaves and to make some indications of shadows. Now I just wanted to quickly do the leaf. I used a little bit of yellow in the center vein and on the two veins on the left. Then I used light green. And then earth green yellowish next to the yellow down the center and on all the other indications of the veins on the leaf. I filled it in with the light green and then I went over certain areas with the earth green yellowish. Just for some detail and for some more depth. And that's about it. I hope you liked this video, and I hope you liked that I showed you a video that was potentially a disaster and demoed a way that you could potentially fix it. So I hope you subscribe to me below, and I hope you join in my giveaway contest that I will link below. And once again, I'm so glad you're here, and I hope you subscribe to me, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.